Hi, everyone. It's good to have you back on today's episode. Thanks for always joining us. And thanks to everyone who joined us on Saturday when we were here to do another episode of the program where we talked about issues concerning gender inequality. It was so controversial, and a lot of people sent in messages. Usually, gender issues and human rights issues are always controversial. We got a lot of messages, and our guest, His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed, all the way from Pakistan, was able to attend to all the questions and all that. So thank you all, and thanks for joining. Today we'll be streaming live on two destinations, on our Facebook Live page and on YouTube. So whichever one you're watching us from, you can drop your comments on the comment section, and then we'll be responding to them. I've got a very special guest in the house. He's my brother, my lost brother, but found. He's a friend, he's a colleague, and a whole lot. His name is MC Abbey. He does a whole lot. I mean, sometimes I call him Jack of all trades and master of all. You know, he's a comedian, he's an actor, he's a life coach, he's an author self. If we ask him now, he go don't write book and all that. Well, I'll be speaking with him soon, but our topic of discussion, we're looking at the entertainment industry. So what's the way forward in 2021, especially with the fact that the pandemic hit all sectors. I know all sectors were hit, but the entertainment sector was worse hit because with the entertainment sector, it's all about numbers, it's all about crowd, it's all about sellout shows and all that. And I'm wondering how they will cope. I know a lot of times people have done skits, gone on social media and all that, but if you know be Panadol, you know if it be Panadol, there's this thing that when you leave your home, go to a music concert, or when you leave your home, go for a comedy night show, that feeling you get, you really can't describe it, especially when you go with a family or a loved one or something, that you are live with the performers. There's this connection that goes on. So I'll be asking my guests, what's the way forward as an entertainer? What are they looking at for in 2021? The vaccines have not reached a lot of countries, so we're still going to be living the new normal and all that. Anyway, I'll bring my guest. So you can also join us. The comment section is there. If you have a question for our guests, please do ask. If you want to go into comedy, entertainment, he grooms a lot of artists, and that's something I like about him. He's always impacting. And his jokes, in fact, when the flyers came out, a lot of people inboxed me and said, now our professor of vocabulary, they bring. I hope he won't kill us with vocabulary today. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you MC Abbey. Make another go for you. Brossy. How you doing?
Departmentally, how you doing, bro? It's Anufuguvated Zagaza. I can see that your department of Eluelu, your department of Eluelu is being evolved. How you doing, bro? What's happening? Compliments of the season. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And I pray that this pandemic and plandemic will not hamper on our progress, especially on the entertainment industry. It has been a very castious vavatoire. That's it.
Try. My head go bust today. Which one is pandemic and pandemic?
No. There's the pandemic and there's the plandemic. The pandemic is what we're experiencing, and the plandemic is the root cause of the pandemic. And also the byproduct of the pandemic. How people can, through the pandemic, try to take advantage of situations. And how people can cause a pandemic because of what they want to achieve, whatever it is. But anyhow, we are all in it. We're all in a fix. Hi Alexandra, how are you? Yeah, we're all in the fix.
Yeah.
In a very tight situation, and I can see from your projections you're looking at how it has affected the entertainment industry and all that, and the way forward. Um, Really, it has. I mean, last year was just one wave. We didn't know that another second wave was coming. We thought it was just one wave, and a lot of people were thinking that when you enter New Year, it means that everything will just be new. No, New Year is calendar. It's just calendar. It's not that. Once you enter a new year, then that means everything the past year is gone. If you owe money last year, this year you are still a debtor. It has not changed. Can you hear me? It has not changed. So don't get it twisted. But we're here anyhow. We're here anyhow,
Okay.
man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I must really thank you. We've been planning this for a whole long. Bros, you over busy. You over busy, passive
Buhari. Even during pandemic, I was just busy protecting myself and protecting my family. That was the work I was doing. I was busy, trying to take care of the household to prevent the pandemic and the pandemic from hitting. But we thank God. We thank at least we're having it now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to ask the first question straight up. A lot of people will be looking up to you. I mean, you are just like, you are not just you are a role model to a lot. I really wonder how you cope. Your jokes are distinct. You started off with gospel comedy, and then we're like, okay, make we see how it go. Maybe it go finish soon. Gospel comedy really know to the evolve, but you keep revolving every day and all that. But bros, make we start from the basics. How you take start when you take no say, be like say entertainment go be your field though. Now waiting you read, or now just waiting you, some people go say music, then they sing and when they did their mama belle. So now so your own be.
Well, for me, no, it was not that I started from my mother's belly. Actually, for my own case, actually different. I don't know if I go even do comedy. I'm not even thinking. But growing up, I've always been told that, man, you guys funny, and they always want me in parties. Guys, even my dad will always want me around when his friends are around. So I've had that trait, but it didn't start that way. I think I stumbled into it. I stumbled into comedy. I was not planning to do it, but I've been having pressures from my friends, from my elder brother. Then he was in the UK. I wanted to go to the UK and study. He said, "Guy, what don't you think of this your gift? Use them now. I mean, people are making big money out of it. It's not about the money, my brother. I can't be fooling myself." That was my idea, And Godos was also my very good friend then in Warri, and he was one of those people that was also pushing me. Say, guy, do this thing now. Then he had a music group called DCN Voice. Then he just started to, up until when he had an opportunity to go and they invited him for a performance in one church in Warri, Church of God Mission, and he had a gig with his music group at Port Harcourt. So he had to tell me to go and stand in for him. That was just the platform. That was the open door. And I got there. I probably went there late thinking that they would have closed. I reluctantly went. The show that was supposed to start for 5 o'clock, I went there around 7. I got there, I saw that they were waiting. I said, we've been waiting for you. Godos have told us a lot about you. I said, hey, really? It's a super story. He did not, he has lied to you people. And that was how they now gave me the program and all that. And I just went through the show. It was beautiful. I saw people really cracking up, falling off their seats, some in tears, laughing, some holding their heads. Some I was like, oh my God. Funny enough. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on. Sorry, there was a little hitch.
Yeah. So I saw people laughing and falling off their seat in tears and all that. Funny enough, that was exactly what gave me the conviction. It was at that point I felt so good that I could make people happy. I never knew. In fact, it has been a thing in me to always make the other person happy. All right. But seeing that I could use this to create this expression, it just defined it for me. I say, wow, this is it. At that time, I was working as in a contracting firm to Shell. I was a safety officer. You know, they pay me, but I didn't even like the job. The job was so boring because safety. You are looking for safe condition or safe act when you know that even the country is not safe. So you just keep having enemies every day. it was a boring job for me. It was not my kind of thing. I was not wired for that. So I was like, this is it. Let me pursue this thing. And the media, they were there, and they invited me the following weekend to come over their TV station. They wanted to interview me. I mean, I was okay. That's good. And I went straight to the TV station, and they now asked me, so what is your stage name? We've heard other people. We've heard of I Go Die, heard of I Go Save. Then I Go Die, no, I Go Save. They were doing mock news then on DBS. We've heard of these people, and we've heard of Baba Kome. So what is your stage name? So then it dawned on me that I didn't even have a stage name. I just quickly picked. I said, I want to be a master of ceremony, actually. Yes, as an MC. And my name is Abiodun. So let me just pick ABBEY from Abiodun. I was just spontaneous with. I said, you could just. My name is MC ABBEY. They're like, wow. I said, yeah, MC. MC ABBEY. I don't want to be answering funny names like Pop or Bangolo or whatever. Some comedians they feel that to show that they are funny, their names has to be stupid. Well, that's their own cup of tea. But I didn't want to be in that class. I wanted to distinguish myself from all that. So that was how it all started from me. That was in 2001, 2002, thereabout. Yeah. That's when it started out for me. And I had to go and print my from the honorarium they gave me that day on that program. I had to go and print my complimentary card. I started telling people, hey, I was projecting I'm an MC comedian, I could anchor your event and all that. So I started getting gigs, my brother have his wedding, my sister wants to marry. Hey, so and I started going for comedy shows in town. And the TV station made me have my program every Friday morning. They call it Good Morning Delta, from 7:30 to 8 a.m. That 30 minutes is me. So every time I'm live, people are watching me at home. Once I leave the station and I'm out in the public, a lot of people will start be calling me, hey, I saw you. Hey, yeah, stupid boy, you did crazy. And you trust worry, when they curse you now, hailing they hail you, not be said they really curse you. You did crazy, you foolish boy, idiot. I was, hey, too much. So I was getting that from all left, right, center. So the name was growing. People started knowing, oh, MC ABBEY, oh, that stupid boy for Good Morning Data. Hey, that comedian. So, and my number, anytime I'm performing, my phone number will flash. If I went Amroba came to steal, when they came to steal my phone, I begged them for my SIM. I said, now my office be this, so because if you take and go now, how do they reach me? They can say, hey, she's in your office. It's not my office. We didn't discuss. Worry thief. Worry thief, they negotiate with them. I say, how far now? No do like this now. Take this one, leave this one for me. Buy SIM for yourself now, So that was how I became a household name in Warri then. And
Wow.
I had to leave Warri for Lagos. Because I discovered that if I want to really touch the world, and touch
Lagos is the hub.
Touch the nation generally, it has to be from a point that everybody focuses on, and it's Lagos. So I moved, and I'm here in Lagos.
We move. We are moving. We move.
Move us and chickens.
Okay, people, in case you just joined us, this is a Tuesday's edition of Shagalinko TV, and we have our guest in the house, a comedian, an MC, a whole lot that you can think of. We'll be talking about a lot of his stuff. He's also a life coach. You can see now what no tire for him mouth. So you can either drop your comments on. You can either drop your comments on the comment section here on Facebook Live, on YouTube, or you can send a text message. We're getting a few text messages here. Bros, let me read some of these messages for you so that
All right.
you can respond to them. But let me also say that the numbers to reach us on the text is still on the screen: 080543834. What's the last one? 60. Yes. So
Yep.
08054383460. Drop your text there for those who don't want to drop on the comment section, and we'll read them. A text came in here. It says, "My name is Anita. I'm watching you from Port Harcourt. MC Abe
Oh.
is my greatest ever. The way he makes us laugh with his vocabulary. Please ask him, how does he arrange all those his funny agbadagbudus?" Who said his agbadagbudus?
Brother Guru is God's name. Oh. Okay, funny enough, the prof character in me was actually discovered by TA. TA had a show then, had a program on TV then called Time Out with TA, and there was a segment called Rave of the Moment. And in that segment, I'm supposed to be the professor that knows everything, anything about everything, and have something to say about everything. So he will ask me questions about celebrities, ask me questions about funny happenings in the country, in the world, and he will say, what you have to say? Tiwa Savage is making waves, and my response then, he told me, just respond anyhow. You see, that is the problem. You don't set me up like that. If you give me this kind of V portion, you're in trouble, because the way I will express myself, and I love it because it brings my creative juice out. He said, just be yourself, express yourself anyhow. I said, okay. So when he asked, and now started with the first word, I've forgotten the first word. Now I'm going to create something else, And I said, Tiwa Savage, she's a very savacious vavatus. She's a very prantotricious Bethium. I was like, what is that? So I kept on. I was describing her, that her eyes can very noise. I was just talking rubbish, And you see, as you are laughing now, that was how he was laughing. I was not just laughing, he was in tears. He was crying and laughing. And that when Tia has gotten it up to here, you see him cry. He was crying and laughing and cleaning his eyes. Was cut. He told the camera, cut. MC Abe, what is wrong with you? I said, Mom, do you like it like that? He said, yes. Now, he likes it that way. I said, okay, no problem. He said, okay, let's do it. Let's do a take two again. We did a take two. My brother, the take two that we did was worse than
the first one.
Oh, my brother. So he now said cut again because he was laughing. So I now begged him. I said, please, bro, don't cut me again, because I can't repeat all I have said. Let me just be misbehaving. So that was how the character was formed, and that was how the crave to just form English, form words, create my own grammar. Some, in fact, none of them are real, but I give meaning to my own. Even the normal ones, I give meaning to them. Like one day someone asked me, what's the meaning of ramification? I say it's the ram they use for an occasion. I think I even sent you that. I sent you the video stuff, the interview with the prof. Stuff like that. I just create. They say, what's the meaning of my grain? I say, it's a grain that belongs to you. It's your grain. We have my grain, your grain, our grain, some grain, them grain. Any grain you want. I don't know why. I will just create rubbish. Say gynecology is someone that blow guys. When he's blow guy, he likes to blow guy when he's gisting with you. It's a gynecologist. So I have words. I have words for every rubbish. So there is no word you tell me I must find something to say. I must find something to say. So it just grew up into me, and
Wow.
I think God understands. When I went to the UK for the first time, that was what somebody accosted me on the streets of Oxford Circus. My very first day in London. And the woman just rushed me. Oh my God, he's the one. I said, yeah, I'm in trouble. Hey God, what have I done? The woman's country. He said, no, you're the prof. And I didn't know that they were showing the program on the TV station there too in the UK. And that was my brother. That was how she called her family. Guess who I have here? I've got the prof, MC Happy. They were just screaming on the phone. Oh my God. I said, hey, Jesus. Is it that I'm this popular in the UK? Eh? So I just gisted with them. One told me, say, you have spoiled my children. They go to school, they speak your rubbish English. I said, please beg them that it's just a joke. They should not learn it. They should just be entertained with it. If not, they will fail. They will fail. They should not blame me for their failure. You know.
Let me take some more messages here, and we'll go take that skit that you sent us. This one here is from Shewu in Sokoto. He says, I'm watching you right now from Sokoto. MC ABBEY is a ceaseless and flawless actor. I watch him on X Factor. Please ask him, how did he come about acting? Yeah, X Family. Say, how did he come about acting?
Yeah, actually, acting has been in me but I think the person that actually brought it out was Yo. Yo had a stage play. It was titled Last Molwe. So just both of us on stage inside a molwe, and it brought out the creative part that I had in me, but I've never expressed, you know. And from there, it just happened that people started noticing that this guy, I mean, he's this crazy. He can really act. You know, and that was how I went from there. I also did the movie with St. George. That was my first movie, Can of Worms. Then I did another one with Omonyo Boli. Did another one with Ufoma McDermott. Did another one with what's this girl's name again? Etiosa. I've done a couple of movies. Then we started the series with RMD called Mr. X Family Show. Then there's also one that we're working on with KP, Karade Peters, the guy that produced Flatmate. I've also done a part on Flatmate too, but they are now working on my own, where I play a major character on another series called Mr. and Mrs. Spencer. That one will come out, I think, this first quarter, very soon. We're done shooting the main episodes and all that, and that one is mad. It's, in fact, you guys should just be praying for me that, oh, this boy needs prayer points, because I mean, anytime I watch, I'm like, hey God, is this who born these children? Now, I call myself children because only me, I'm like many people in one. You understand? It's crazy. Mr. and Mrs. Spencer is fantastic, you know. And I've done other ones too. There are some I've even forgotten the names. I've done some Yoruba. There are some Yoruba movies I did too that I was speaking English. You know, I've done with Showtayo, done with who again himself. You know, but this year a whole lot of acting that will be coming up on set. A lot of expressions on that line that I'll be doing.
Wow.
So
wow.
You know, if you're a good comedian, if you're a good entertainer, you should be a good actor because we perform.
Yeah. True. And it's not easy to rake up the emotions of people. So for comedians, it's even a plus for them. You know, for a comedian, it's even a plus for them because you are both acting, you are demonstrating, you're trying to rake up emotions of people, not just for them to laugh, but to also see that there's a meaning that is coming out from your joke, you know, and all that. So really,
brother, to be funny is not funny. To be funny is not
honestly,
funny.
It's not, and that's why a lot of people appreciate what you do. You know, they appreciate a lot. Anyway, Alexandra Etim, thank you very much. She said she's watching from Abuja. Some of the messages are hanging, but as soon as they drop, I'll just be putting them on the screen for you to see them. But let me ask again, the entertainment industry, what's the way forward? Because COVID really hit a whole lot of industries, even the banking industries. They sacked a lot of their workers. Some bankers got to the office without being told. They just said, go to the admin department or the HR and pick up your resignation letter. Some have pregnant wives, some have children, and then a whole lot. Some businesses had to close. Banks were chasing a lot of people. And your profession is one with numbers, you know. It's something that you guys brag with, it sold out. The show was massive. People were everywhere. How are you guys coping?
My dear, it's been a very, very tough one for our trade because, like you said, we interface with people. That is the beauty of what we do. One on one, we want to see people. I mean, real people, all right? And it connects and connects with them. It gives us that juice to flow, all right? But this pandemic, I mean, gave us a tough blow. We couldn't have those kind of meetings like we used to have. We're doing some online stuff. I know I did some few online gigs, via Zoom. I did some birthday parties, some launching, some activations, but all via Zoom. It was not like the real thing. It was so strange. It was so strange. But we now discover that we had to fall back to our creativity. Right now, content is king, and it's king and it's key. So we have to now fall back to, okay, what we do is just create content and push it up there. Look for media houses that would want to buy content, either online or terrestrial, even, or maybe the airwaves, that wants to buy content and you sell to them, and from there you could make some money. Because we noticed that, I mean, a lot of we're at home then at that time, and we have more people trying to be at home than coming out. So they need something to engage them. So that was the twist. And it was also tough because creating content means you have to invest in a lot of time. Even if you're just using your phone to do all that, you need space. You need a place where you don't have when you have noise, and you need a lot of things. It depends on what you want to project, but be that as it may, we try to work on that, and still, we're pushing out content, so that people can enjoy and embrace. But having this one-on-one or having live concerts, on ground, I mean, we missed that. That is the in thing for us. That is the in thing for us. I tried to also in December. I did just one show that I do normally. I every month I do my comedy club show called I Love Comedy Club. It was bi-monthly all through last 2 years ago. Last year we started for February, the Valentine edition, which was One Night Stand, where we talk about love, sex. In fact, that one of the clip I sent to you, that was the first edition of the One Night Stand show. So we did that last year, February, but then the pandemic came and we were just shut. So I did it again in December, just to wrap up the year, and had to put all the COVID-19 protocol safety measures in place. There was social distancing in the hall, everybody wearing face shield. Yeah, that was the event. Yeah, my Mike and I, everybody wearing face shield. Have sanitized yourself before you get into the hall. Things like those are the things that we started. I did last year, and that's what some few persons started doing too. And this year we're going to see more of that. I mean, events will be done, but it has to be with safety measures, the COVID-19 safety measures put in place. I intend to do stuff February 14th this year, but I'm slow. In fact, my team lead called me this morning, was like, bro, how far, what's happening? I said, this second wave thing, I'm just looking at it. I don't know. I'm still contemplating. I really want to do it, but I'm still contemplating. I'm going to still do it. It's going to be also on a very low key, just basically to create content. That's the way forward. It's easier for comedians to do that, actors to do that. But for musicians, I don't know how they will thrive on it, because well, it's also easier for them too, because once they produce a song, they just do a lot of media publicity and throw it on Spotify and all that. People download, only that they can't be having the concerts like we used to have before. It's a learning curve, it's a learning curve. We would survive and overcome it. So we still do gigs. I mean, some people still call us for weddings and all that. We still do, some small pocket-sized weddings with all the protocols in place. So we are still in business, but in a very
with lesser
slow way.
crowd.
But yeah, lesser cloud, slow and steady, but we're still in business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take this message here and then I'll play your skit for people to watch. So my guest is still here, MC ABBEY. If you have questions for him, drop them either on the comment section here or you drop them in our text line 08054383460. We have viewers from very far, London, Pakistan. I know by the time
Wow.
they wake up, they will bombard you with a whole lot of questions. Sometimes they watch later on because the timing and the zone is different. But when
Yeah.
they wake up, they will just ask for your head from me. Anyway, this one is from Tina. It says, my name is Tina. I'm sending this from Ikoyi. Tell Abe that he's one of my most loved comedians. Something I like about him is the way he dresses each time he wants to do a comedy. There was one I saw that he was wearing old school. Ask him what's the motivation for the old school dressing and the wig.
Thank you very much. In fact, we're supposed to have an old school event last year, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't do that. But hopefully, we pray that this year it will be better. We intend doing stuff probably in October 1st. Old school groove. We will bring back the old school life. And all the old school artists, musicians, and all that. Across the 6 geopolitical zones. They want to have fun, practically. But so the wig and everything, everybody would dress like that. Your best old school attire, do runway, old school, and but let me not let the cat out of the bag. We pray it happens this year, by God's will. But thanks, appreciate.
Okay, let me take this skit here. Although I couldn't download the others, but let me take this one, and it's from MC ABBEY. I have him live in the building. I know we'll call him back because I need him to also talk to young people. A whole lot is happening, and you're finding scuffles between young people and their parents. So parents have an idea of what they think their children should be. You must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer, and all that. And kids also feel, okay, you know what, I'm talented here and there. I need to express my talent. See Oga them, MC ABBEY, see the band them, see and all that. They want to express themselves. I need you to also talk to young people where they can find a balance, because the truth is, education is key. Yes, talent can take you places and all that, but we must realize and begin to tell young people that what, yes, you can hold your talent, but your parents are also not fools. They know what it is because they've lived the former life and they see what is happening now. So every time I talk with young people from my NGO, I always see there's a disconnect. Kids, youth, young people come to me and tell me, Ambassador, my parents are disturbing me. I say, look, they are not disturbing you. They love you, because if the comedy doesn't work, if the music doesn't work, if acting doesn't work, you have a certificate to fall back to and do, and yes, and work. They're just planning your future for you. But I will need you to speak later when we come from these kids, how young people can begin to manage both, because this life, just as you are, you need everything. I mean, if you have parents who are willing to sponsor you in school, a lot of us went to school on our own, So if you have parents who are on your neck to want to go to school, it's not that they hate you or your talent will run away. Just do all that and really come back. Exactly. So let's take this skit for our viewers, and then we'll come back and you address that issue.
This other word is from Lokoja. He wants to know meaning of ramification. Ramification. It's simple. Ramification is the big. They always use it for a layer, a festival. Yes, all those Muslim festival. The ram they buy. They use it a lot. On occasion. You understand? Ramification is the ram you use for occasion. Any occasional ram is a ram for the occasion. So that's what they call it, ram for the occasion. Are you with me? Ramification. Ram for the occasion. It's a big ram. They have big horn. If you see them, you love them. So those is, it's a ram. Yeah. Ram. You want a ram? Thank you.
The guy asking me was confused.
Oh my God. Now,
The guy was looking.
I
Was
want to. Oh God.
he was confused.
What was the concept behind this? I've laughed. I've watched it several times and I've laughed. And I'm like, this FCR be the craze. I swear, it the craze.
Oh God,
What
I have
was
some
the
latest
concept?
ones that are mad. The concept behind it actually is like that is the prof. That is the prof character. All right. So the prof, like I said, gives meaning to anything that any word at all that is projected to him. He gives meaning to it. His own meaning. You know, he also creates words from anywhere. You know, and he can tell you about anything that is happening in the world. There was even one we did. They asked me the prof. They asked the prof, "What's the meaning of cross pollination?" I said, "Is when you are going to a polytechnic in another nation, and so you're crossed. You know, you are crossing from Nigeria to Ghana now. So it's cross poly, and it's different nation. So it's cross pollination. That is the madness. You understand? So it's just to it's just to create that prof character and see this is the prof. So anytime you see the prof, there is no question that the prof cannot answer. There is no word, there is no grammar that the prof does not
No
understand.
vocabulary.
There's
No
no
vocabulary is too
vocabulary that
tough.
he cannot break.
He will
He will
climb
break
that
it down for
mountain.
you. He will climb the mountain. There is no wall, nothing. Don't play with the prof. Don't play with him. You understand? He knows everything about everything. You know? That's actually the concept.
Oh God, I was amazed at a number of people who saw your flyers. You know, even a lady in Dublin was you know, because we have various groups where we drop our flyers and people like I told you, a lot of people watch the program from different zones. So sometimes they always keep in touch because they want to watch after the program. And she saw the flyer, she was like, when you go come Dublin, hey, the way my children like them. Hey, if they don't see her for TV, hey, a lot of people, you know, people kept calling, people kept sending me messages, and I'm like, you really don't know the number of fan base you have, because you know a lot of people may not reach you. You understand? So let's even talk about young people now. How do you begin to tell young people that as they harness their potentials, their talents, and all that, they should also take education as key?
Yeah. Now, honestly, I think you even gave a very good foundation, which is very profound. No matter how talented you are, no matter how gifted you are, talent is not enough. Talent is not the only ingredient you need for success. All right. You need other things. Yes, you need street credibility and all that. You have to be streetwise and blah blah blah. But you see, the place of education cannot be overemphasized. Education gives you a broader mindset. Education makes you think outside of the box. It gives you confidence to connect and relate with people of different class. All right. Now, I am bold to say that I have performed my craft in front of many people, presidents, you know, people of high class, of high caliber, from different countries, different part of the world, different embassies. Till tomorrow, American embassy will always reach out to me to come and call their events here in Nigeria. All right. Even when I travel out, I've met with ambassadors from different countries. I've performed in their presence. I've had 2-3 gatherings. I mean, 2-3 attendees in a gathering, and these are top shots. and all they want is come and just entertain us. Now, if I'm not educated, if I don't have that connect with my educational background, I won't be able to, I would have shied away off that, or I won't be able to make sense to them. I do a lot of corporate events, or anchor a lot of corporate events, from banking to telecoms and all that. And these are top-notch corporate events. All right. If I don't have my educational strength or background
Yes,
or
your backup.
platform,
Yeah.
I won't. But yeah, I won't be able to handle that, because now when I go to speak with, when I go to anchor events that is in the banking sector, I have something to say about banking. I have something to say about whatever they're doing. If it's telecoms, I have something to say about telecoms. If it's the IT, I have something to say about the IT. All right. Alibaba once told me, because he's my boss, he once told me, say, just know a little about everything. So education is key. I studied psychology in school, and which helps me to interface with people, helps my interpersonal skill, how to connect with people, how to understand my crowd, read my crowd, and know how to, because if I don't read them well, I won't connect with them well. And there's no way I can be relevant if I'm not relative, So it's always my slogan: you cannot be relevant if you're not relative. If for you to be relative, you must know how to, you must understand their mindset, know where they are, so you meet them where they are. So all this takes practice. All this takes education, to get there. During the pandemic, I did some online courses just to improve myself. Before, when I moved into Lagos from Warri, the first thing I went to do was to go to the school of to go to a finishing school, Poise Finishing School. And I tell a lot of upcoming comedians, I say, look, guys, you must learn how to pronounce words properly. Your diction is key. Your stage carriage is key. Your projection. Some people don't even know how to handle the mic. Some, they will hold the mic, they don't know how to project into the mic. Your projection, all these things, understanding your audience is key. For me to get to that point, I had to go to a finishing school. They taught me how to stand, my standing posture, my communication skills, the pronunciation of words, how to pace the floor, how to project to my audience, how to read. I learned all that for 3 months. Did exam, by the best that there was then. And I passed. So, and I have my certificate. So these are the things you have to improve. Education is, you can't throw it out of relevance. It's so key. So young people, no matter how talented you are, there is always a plus to your life when you have a firm basic education, where you have and you keep learning. It's not just, okay, you are done with university and blah blah blah, then you keep learning. You just keep learning every time. Every opportunity that comes your way, you use it as an opportunity to, you grab the opportunity as an advantage to yourself, to learn something new, to be better, to better yourself. I went to Ali's house when I just came into Lagos. Then he took me to his house, and he took me to his library. His library is so massive. I saw books, all kinds of books. I was like, wow, bro, what are you doing with all these books? Books on different planets, books on animals, books on different geographical whatever. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, that was when he told me that word. He said, you must learn to know something about everything.
About everything. Yeah.
And he sat me down. He played animal animal geographical, that's station on DSTV, Animal Geography, some one, whatever it is, on DSTV, where they show animal kingdom and all that. He sat me down. He turned to the station, to the channel, and I was just watching a monkey running away from a lion, and he was laughing. And I was looking at him. I was like, bro, what is funny here? He laughed. He rewound the thing. He said, look again. I looked. I still didn't see anything. He now explained to me. He said there is humor everywhere, but you must learn to have a second look. With the eyes of humor, you will see the monkey is chasing the lion is chasing the monkey. Look at how the monkey is running. It now reminded me of the adage that said, they say it in Pidgin English in Warrior, and they say because tree near tree now make monkey they smart. You go they jump from one tree to the other. When tree far from each other, say monkey go run, go buy pure water, go enter Okada, it go run. See, that's the situation now. See, there are no trees around, there are only shrubs. The monkey actually literally was running from the lion. He couldn't jump from one grass to the other because I mean it was just they're all short shrubs and all that, you know. So it empowers your creativity. Did you get what I said last time?
Yeah.
It was put in there.
Okay. Yeah. I did.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I did. Okay. So thank you so much. I need to wrap up now, but you have to promise us that you will come back for a second time, because there's so many questions I need to ask you, and so many questions and messages here. But you have to promise us that you'll come back. But on a
I will.
final note, yeah, okay. So on a final note, what will you advise your fans, young people, Nigerians? I needed us to talk a little about the country, because I see some of your jokes where you talk about issues of democracy, and you sometimes just give advice to the government
Tariff.
and all that.
Yeah.
So so we need to. So finally, what's your word of advice to everyone?
Well, my word of advice, I have a lot to say, but practically I might just say some few things. And the first one is what you can face, you change. And this goes to both government and everybody. What you can face, you change. We're in a situation right now globally, and we have so much potential that we stand on, but we have not harnessed, we have not tapped into them. It pains me so much that we need to wait until those Westerners make a move before we make a move. We have researchers, we have virologists that can also dig down and come with a good vaccine that we would that would work with us. But we've not taken time to empower ourselves. I think government should look into that, empowering the local contents that we have to produce what we need. All right, we are always dependent on the Western world, and that's why they insult us. They call us all kinds of names, but we have so much potential here. Let's stop the corruption. Let's stop the nepotism. Let's really look out for people that can fix things and put the right people in the right place. Don't put square pegs in round holes, and by so doing, we are going to achieve a whole lot. There is so much potential in this country, so much potential in this continent also, and if we reach out and empower the right sectors, the educational sector, the agricultural sector, the medical sector, the even the corporate bodies too. If we reach out to really empower these sectors, we will do well. We will do well. So let's stop playing politics. You have lives in your hands, and you as an individual, be responsible. Don't wait until the government creates something before you create. Think outside the box. Be responsible. I had to chase one guy in his bus one day when I saw somebody threw out a banana peel from the bus. I chased the bus. I double crossed, and I told them that they should go back, drive backwards, and go and pick that banana peel. We need to be responsible. We blame the government for a lot of things, but we are the cause. The 80% of Shando.
We're still trying to. Sorry, the network there. I guess it's MC Abbey all the way from Lagos, and well, I was trying to ask him to wrap up, and well, the line went off. But he's promised that he'll be here again a second time around. So I hope that he'll come back and talk about a whole lot, because there are so many. Some of his skits are so educational, you know. Many of them rather are so educational, and I'd like him to come and talk to us about that. For those of you who sent in messages on our phones, sorry, so many of them we can't take them now, but I promise we'll keep them. When we have him a second time around, we will bring him on to answer some of those questions. Thank you all for joining us, and thanks to everyone who sent us messages from Sokoto, from Port Harcourt, from Alexander in Abuja. Thank you so much. I know network has been so terrible today. You can see it's been going off and on, and even for my guests too, it just went off now. But hey, we had 50 minutes of fun on the show, and it's always a pleasure talking with MC Abbey. And I really want to thank him for finding time to do. We've been planning and scheduling this interview for over like 4 months now. He's been very, very busy, like you heard from him. Every time we need to do it, it's always either recording, shooting, or having a function and all that. At some point, all Saturdays were booked for him, so we couldn't even have him on the show then. So I'm so honored to have him today, and I thank everyone who's always been there for us in Shagalinko. Every time we just reach out to people and say would like to interview you, they are everly happy to be our guest. And thanks to everyone who supported us in giving us data to make sure that the program comes on, in making sure we subscribe to all the apps we'll need to be on the show. And I can't forget to also thank Yeah, and I can't forget to thank Ahmed in London. Sorry for that heat there. Like I said, today has been terrible. The network has been a bit fluctuating, even with 2, 3 networks that I use. Network providers, I think I need to write you guys letter so that you let us use the networks well. I mean, I use 3 networks and then it still gives us issues sometimes, not every time anyway, but sometimes. Anyway, I need to thank everyone, but majorly, I need to thank Ahmed in London for always making sure we come on the program with subscriptions, with data, and all that. I really, really, really thank you. And to everyone who supported us all across the globe, you know, there's also Chris there who's always making sure that he gives us feedback on the program. My viewers in Pakistan, in London, in Philippines, Asia, to everyone across the African continent, in Nigeria, and everywhere. A lot of people watch and don't even comment, but I really thank you all. Okay, till I see you all on Saturday. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, urging you to have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday, and stay blessed, and God bless all of you. Thank you all for finding time to join us. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.